The silence in the hall was palpable, which made Hadjar a bit anxious. He had experienced a similar silence once before, during his journey through a distant empire. He had stumbled upon a group of survivors who had narrowly escaped the wrath of a mad practitioner. Back then, he'd been a less seasoned traveler, so Hadjar had taken it upon himself to assist the survivors and guide them to the nearest town. Humans were generally intelligent creatures, but a crowd of humans could be a dangerous thing. Without Azria's help, Hadjar would have had a difficult time escaping that day. The villagers had decided that they were ghosts. Then they'd blamed Hadjar for the deaths of their loved ones, contrary to all logic and common sense. Luckily, here, in the heart of the strange lands, the holiest of holies of the entire martial arts world of the mortal regions, things were different. This was a famous and mighty sect, after all. A lot of songs and legends had been created about it. It was the cradle of dozens of immortals, and here, even Azria wouldn't have been able to help him escape. After a moment of confused silence, the red-bearded leader's aura descended upon him. Hadjar had faced many formidable opponents before. He'd beheld the shadows of the dark gods, the creatures trapped somewhere outside the four worlds. He'd participated in the battle of the heavens and the earth. He'd witnessed the battles of dragons. He'd fought demons, and he'd even survived a battle against a son of Fenrir. He'd spent far too much time dancing along the impossibly sharp edge of death's scythe. And yet, there was something about this aura, even though it didn't belong to an immortal, but only a peak-stage heaven emperor. It was something that Hadjar wouldn't have been able to put into words until recently. But now, as he looked at the mace pointed at him and felt the monstrous aura bear down on him, he realized why this relatively young cultivator held such a high position. He possessed a rule, a mystical secret hidden somewhere far beyond the borders of a true kingdom. It was such a deep and complex mystery that its very manifestation could distort the currents of reality, like the rules that Fenrir's son and the Northerner possessed.